viewers, for our final recipe, Molly is going to show us a beautiful biscotto recipe. Although you have another word for it, don't you?
Oh, well, it's not my word, it was my grandmother's word.
What is that?
Li pastarelle.
What language is that?
That's San Marquese dialect.
Yeah, okay, beautiful. All right, so what are the principal ingredients of this biscotto dish?
Eggs, sugar, flour, butter, and orange. Now, orange juice. You can use lemon juice or lemon essence.
Yes.
But I haven't got any lemons today, so we're going to use orange.
Improvise.
So
okay,
you just improvise, that's fine.
Okay, so let's get started.
Okay, if you'd like to pour 2.5 cups of sugar, and I'll break 6 eggs.
So this is just normal granulated sugar?
Absolutely, yes. Yes, I thought I'd best not use brown. I use brown sugar, but my mother would be mortified so, if I use brown sugar. So I'm using, this is her recipe.
I love it.
This is a recipe that we used to come home from school on cold days. We'd walk home. We weren't driven to school or picked up. We used to walk.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'd come home on a cold day and we'd walk inside and you'd smell this beautiful biscuits cooking. And we'd have hot cups of tea or cafe latte with these biscuits.
And there you go. These are the smells and the ideas of your past life.
Yes, and if you'd like to add...
All right, so one, so 2.5?
2.5.
And can you vary this amount, Molly?
Look, if I was making them just for me, I am actually going to share these biscuits around. I would only use 2 cups of sugar.
Yeah.
2.5. My mother uses 3, but I think that's a bit much for me. I don't particularly like sweet things. Okay. A lot of too sweet, but it's up to you.
Yes.
So
it's like all the Italians, they have no exact measurements.
No. You just go with the feel.
Yeah.
Smell and feel, and just see how it looks. And you actually, people might think, what do you mean? How feel when you're cooking? But you do. You actually do when you're mixing things, when you're adding things. You can feel and you can smell. That's what I meant when I said passion.
Well, that's right.
Passion.
Beautiful. So, and how long do you need to do the mixing process for, Molly?
Look, it's got to be light and fluffy.
Okay.
Okay, so some people have. You can probably do it in a kitchen whiz, perhaps.
Yeah.
But I just tend to do the things the older.
So this is sort of really what they call creaming.
Creaming is
creaming the sugar and the butter.
Absolutely. Now, while I've been beating the sugar and the eggs together, I've melted 250 grams of butter, and it is butter, not margarine. It is butter. Very particular about that. And my beautiful niece Allegra has been looking after that. And, Allegra, can I have the butter, please? Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Do you want to pour it in? You can. There you go. Slowly pour it in.
Is that it, Molly?
That's it.
Oh, I love these simple recipes.
Yeah, there we go.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Allegra. And now we're going to add some orange juice. Caterina, if you'd like to squeeze some orange juice into this. So you mix it around and put a bit of... the oranges, they're in season at the moment, so they're quite hard, aren't they, really?
They are really firm, aren't they?
I usually use an electric orange squeezer.
We'll do it the old-fashioned
Let's
way.
do it the old-fashioned way.
There you go.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Now you can add some zest if you want.
As well as the juice?
As well as the juice, a little bit if you like. Some people don't like to eat the zest. They don't,
that's right.
They don't, because it can be a little bit bitter.
Quite.
So again, because my mother's going to try these, let's not use the zest. Because you'll pick at something, I have no doubt. Okay. I don't make them like that.
Beautiful.
Okay, but I tend to refine everything that my mother's made,
Of course,
this is 2009.
Yes, quite.
Okay, so now we mix all of this through thoroughly. So we've got the eggs, the sugar, the orange juice,
and the butter.
And
Wonderful
we
for our thighs. Now, how much flour do we
Okay, look, it's probably, I've got a 2 kilo, we won't use all that. It's probably about 1 kilo, a little bit more. Again, feel.
Okay.
Okay, now Caterina, if you can start pouring some self-raising flour. does it. This is what she does. Can I show you?
Yeah.
None of this. You would say, what is this? So if you want to just fill it, because we're going to need quite a bit of, we're going to need quite a bit of flour because because it's got to be firm. And when it's firm, then we roll it out onto the pastry mat. That's bang.
Yes, and that's really actually amalgamating beautiful. So really, are we wanting to attain a firm dough?
Yes, we do want a firm dough, relatively firm.
This is one of those recipes like gnocchi where you have no idea about amounts.
Exactly, that's right. That's correct. It's usually about 1 kilo of self-raising flour to 6 eggs. Now it's becoming quite firm, so when that starts to happen, it's probably a good idea to change over to a spatula.
Beautiful.
See, that's better. Okay, need more.
Molly, Emanuela.
Right, now Caterina, see how it's very firm now?
Yep.
So we're going to put this on the pastry mat.
Right.
Now before we do that, we just need to put some flour on there so it doesn't stick.
Right.
So just put some flour all over. Yep, that's right, and just do that. That's plenty, thank you. And now what we do is we put it onto the pastry mat.
Oh, this is when it gets to the good bit where we start using
Yes,
our
we
hands.
have to use our hands now.
Okay.
What we need to do now is add a little bit more flour and just knead it lightly. You don't need to knead it too much, and so it becomes a little bit firmer so that we can then shape the biscuits.
Okay.
There you go, Caterina. A bit more flour. Oh, a fair bit actually, because it's still quite. So you don't knead it like you need bread or pasta. You know when you need that sort of dough. This is quite light.
Yes, I can see that. And it's not...
So you don't do it. It's just you knead it lightly.
Okay.
Until you get the right consistency, and then you do little balls and
shape biscuits.
shape the biscuits with a rolling, or you roll it out the pastry first, and then you can do whatever shape you like.
Okay.
So
Beautiful.
a bit more.
I'm so impressed. You're not even making a real mess, Molly.
Is that right?
Yeah. Okay, Molly, so it's a really beautiful pliable pastry, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's quite easy to handle. So now that we've got the pastry ready, you do have to add a little bit of flour so it doesn't stick, and so I just break some off. I don't use the whole dough all at once. I break some off. And we're going to create little shapes. Okay. And you actually, because it's so pliable, you actually don't even need a rolling pin. You can just use your hands. You see how
I can see that, and it's not even sticking to your hands.
No, not at all, not at all. So the consistency is really good. So if you've got a less dough, it's easier to handle in depending on the shapes. Now, my mother used to use a glass.
They were very resourceful.
Very resourceful.
Yes.
And so, as you can see, I've got a glass here, and you can make a little shape like so, and you put them on the baking tray. Half moons.
Yes, the Italians were resourceful, weren't they?
They were. We used to love these little half moons.
200, 220 moderate oven.
Correct.
For 15 minutes, bang, you have biscotti for dunking in the morning.
And can I just say that this 6 eggs makes a huge amount of biscuits.
Yeah.
And they last, if you keep them in a tight container, they'll last up to 2 months.
Okay, do they?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Fantastic.
They do.
So there you have it, after Molly's taken them out of the oven, after what, 15, 20 minutes?
Yes, that's correct.
You have a perfect plate of...
Li pastarelle.
And on that note, what did you learn today, Allegra?
The 5 ingredients were orange juice, sugar, self-raising flour, butter, and eggs.
Perfect.
Correct.
And on a Saturday afternoon, I'm getting rid of my daughter. I'm sending her straight to your place because I want to supply these for the winter, I think.
And I will be happy to have her.
Thank you, Molly, for sharing all your wonderful recipes with us. I hope you come back and visit us soon and we can take you through another journey of your past life, I guess.
Thank you very much.
Ciao, alla prossima. Bene, grazie.